Welcome to another episode of the Root of Everything podcast. So glad to be here again. There's actually some complications. We didn't know if we'll be able to be here this week, but we're here. We're being consistent. I'm happy to be here. And another announcement, we were just featured on Temple News. So if you haven't checked out the article already, go ahead and go to templenews.com and check out the article on us and how we kind of started. So when it comes to this week, and we're actually going to be here this week, I'm so glad we're here. But this week we're going over why you should start now. If you have a passion that you already know is your passion, why not just start now? And also, if you have something you might want to try that could be your passion, why you should start right now. So let's get into it.
Gunshot. Friends turn enemies, lovers turned into flings. As I grow older, I'm cutting off these loose strings and moving on to better things, hoping it'll better me. Some things you just know and some things are never seen. Some peasants will get crowned, some kings won't ever be. Evidently, I'ma shine inevitably. It ain't a young out that's better than me. And when they say they go hard, I laugh hysterically.
If you're waiting to start, if you're waiting to try out something that could possibly be your infinity, if you're waiting to start on something that could possibly be your passion, my message for today is to just start right now. And the reason I say that, because it's very personal to me. I believe that success is in the start. You know, I told all of y'all that we have different definitions of success, but I'm going to make my argument for why definition of success for me is in the start. You know, when we have infinite potential, when we have something that we know is going to be all this happiness for us, when we know it's going to just be the rest of our lives, we're going to be living in this different realm. When we start is really when the success is, because we already know what's going to happen afterwards. We already know that our potential is going to go through the roof. We already know that we're going to be happy every step of the way because we're doing something we love. So when you start, that's the real celebratory moment. So for me, when I decided I was going to decide to live in my passion, when I was going to do this podcast, it was the greatest moment of my life. I remember vividly, I was at a party. I think I've maybe already told y'all about this part, but I was at a party and I asked a couple people and I just decided in my mind and I just left the party. And I knew this was going to be a new moment, not a new moment, but a new sector of my life, because I decided I was no longer content with just being okay. So when you decide to start something, when you decide to really do something that you're passionate about, not only should you be happy because you're living a life that now has infinite potential and you love doing it, but you're no longer living it in an okay lifestyle. You're no longer saying, I'm content with just being kind of happy. I'm no longer content with just having half of my potential that really is infinite. You're no longer content. And I think a lot of us in life, a lot of people around the world are content where they are. They understand that maybe the person before them maybe didn't even have as much as they have, but you know, I have a little bit more, so I'm gonna be content. Or I know I'm probably am not gonna achieve that goal, so I'm gonna just stay content with this lifestyle. But I promise you, y'all don't want to just stay content with what you have. You want to get everything you deserve to achieve your happiness, to achieve your potential. There's no greater feeling to knowing you're doing something you're supposed to be doing. And so the 3 reasons I have for y'all to not stay in that content lifestyle, that lifestyle where you're just locked in these boundaries you already set for yourself, instead living in this infinite lifestyle, I have 3 reasons for y'all. And the first one is you're going to struggle regardless. Life is hard, man. It's hard right now. It's hard hopping on this mic, on this camera, talking to y'all right now. But I knew this struggle is more beautiful. This struggle is going to lead me to growth. This struggle is going to lead me to my infinite potential. But you could also struggle to just live. You could just struggle with no light at the end of the tunnel. And that's where that content lifestyle comes in. When you're just struggling just to struggle, because that's just what life is. But you can decide to take a life where that struggle turns into a light at the end of the tunnel, where that struggle ends up being growth that you could have never imagined you could ever get. That struggle turns into infinite potential. And the second one I got for y'all is that you'll know sooner if this is what you're supposed to be doing. If I don't decide to try, at least, maybe you have that thing that might be your passion, that thing that, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I might end up liking it, or maybe, maybe I don't like it, or maybe I'm not good at it. At least you'll know after you try what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, we have these things in our lives that it might be it, but we don't even give it the benefit of the doubt. We don't even give it a try. And you're just wasting the potential, infinite potential it could have in it. If I didn't decide to do this, we wouldn't be here right now. And I wouldn't know I was on the cover of Temple News. I could have just quit, but I didn't, and now I know what it is. So you have to try something to know what it is. My grandmother used to tell me, if you don't try it, she used to tell me every time she gave me new food, just try it, Jamar. And I was like, no, I don't want to try it. The other day, I ate sour cream for the first time. And I thought it was the greatest freaking invention of my whole life. I was like, this is delicious. But my whole life, I was like, don't give me that. It looks nasty. What's that, white cream? I was like, don't give me that. But you have to try it first. It's funny. I didn't even write that one down. It just came in my head. I know I'm in my infinite mode right now. But my next one is to never regret. So if you're doing something and it might be it, but you decide not to try it, you're going to regret your whole life that you didn't at least try. Or even if you have something you know is your passion, but you're content with living in something that maybe is okay for you, you're going to be regretting your whole life. My biggest fear ever is being 80 years old and Jamar Jr. is saying, hey, granddad, did you ever try to, you know what I'm saying, just ask me about my things, and I tell him that I regret it. And the only thing I could do is tell him, don't be like me. That's one thing I don't want to do, because I know I can no longer do anything about it. When you get to a certain point in your life, you're not going to have the same opportunity you have right now. I have so many opportunities in my life right now because I'm so young, because I have this energy about me, because I am 20 years old. But when you get to a certain point in your life, you're going to reach this point where all you can really do is regret. And that's the worst feeling in the world. So I want you to know, regardless of what it is, just try it out. For me, I think I was 13 years old. I was watching this TV show of these DJs, and they were all doing the DJs, and it looked cool to me. And so I was like, I want to be a DJ. And I said, Dad, can you buy me a DJ set? Like, I want to become a DJ. And he was like, you can buy yourself, get a job or something. And I recently had a job. I was refereeing soccer, and I worked all my money up to buy this DJ set. And then I got the DJ set, and I was bad at it. I wouldn't say I was bad at it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. And I look back on the time, and I'm like, at least I got to figure out that I wasn't good or I didn't like it. And imagine if I was here 20 years old, 7 years later, I'm like, dang, what if I could have been the youngest DJ? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that type of weight on my heart. But now I get to walk with knowing, I was not meant to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to always just indulge yourself in what could possibly be your infinite potential, what could possibly be everything you ever want in your life. And because I decided to try in so many things, I could go on forever about the amount of things I've tried and they're turned out to not be it. But we can find that thing that you love doing. We can find that thing where you're maybe even bad at it and you still love the result. That's when you're really going to be like, man, I'm glad I tried all those things because now I found the one. So I want you to go out there and try every one of those things you think that could be your passion, and try them every single day. And learn to what am I trying to say here? I'm tripping right now. I want you to know that if you don't try, you'll never know and you will regret. And the last point I have, the last reason why you should try right now is because you'll have a life longer of happiness. And what I mean by that is you'll have a longer lifespan of being in that span where you're not in the content lifestyle, when you're doing something that you love. When you want to be happy most of your life, when you want to be as happy as you can be for as long as you can be, that's what you're doing by deciding to do something you love. You're deciding to be in your happiest state for the longest period of your life. That sounded weird. But what I'm trying to say here is when you decide to do it, the earlier you get to your happiness. That's what I was trying to say. The earlier you start, the earlier you get to your happiness. But the longer you say, I don't know, maybe, that's the longer you have to wait till you hit your happiness. And if I didn't start and try, I wouldn't be here right now. And maybe I'd be 21, maybe I'd be 23, maybe I'd be 50 when I finally got to this point. So I'm out of breath. Y'all stay tuned. We still got another segment, but I just want y'all to decide to just start right now. And the next segment we got to, once you start, then you have to bet all the way on yourself and become serious in what you're doing. When you find what you want to do, when you find your passion, or you find something that you really think could be your passion, I need you to trust and bet on yourself. And what I mean by that is to fully invest yourself seriously. And the word seriously, I mean something that only you can assess. When I'm doing something, only I can know if I'm serious. Only you can know if you're serious about something. So when you find that thing that you love, that you decide should be a priority in your life, if it's your passion, it should be your priority. It should be one of your priorities, one of those things you're always committed to. So when you get one of those things that is a priority, you need to be pushing everything you can into it. And what I mean by that is anything you can. So for me, when it came to my podcast, it was, okay, I'm buying a new pair of shoes every month. Let me stop using that money and putting it into the equipment I need for my podcast, or let me start putting that money that I was usually wasting into something that's actually a priority right now. You have to make an assessment for yourself when you're starting to take on a new priority, what type of sacrifices you're going to make. It's not always money that you're going to have to sacrifice. It could be time, it could be hard work, it could be all these different type of sacrifices, but they're worth it because this is your priority. This is your passion. So if you don't take it seriously, if you don't decide to go all in with your passion, then for one, you're not going to see what infinite is. You're cutting that in half because you're not going all the way in. You're not going to get to see really what I'm talking about. And two, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't take yourself seriously, how do you expect others to take you seriously? How can you expect to have this brand? How can I expect to have this brand and tell people about it? I'm like, yeah, you should probably follow it. I mean, I guess. Who's going to follow somebody that's not serious about their own stuff? You know, I've been posting Instagram, doing this podcast weekly, posting something on Instagram every single day, and not everybody followed from the jump. Not everybody followed immediately when I said, go follow this page. But when they saw Jamar post every single day, post more content and more content, they said, okay. I mean, some of them, you know, some people like to follow when stuff gets popular, but some people were like, okay, bro actually serious. Bro actually decided to commit himself to this. You can't expect everybody to support you from the jump. One, because not everybody mess with you like that. And two, they got to figure out if you're serious. So you got to prove your seriousness to yourself first. And when you can do that, then those people are going to start believing in you. And if you're trying to decide if you should really bet it all, if you should really, commit to this thing. Maybe you have some other priorities in your life. My question to you is, if you're in a card game and you have the perfect deck right here, you're looking at it and you know everybody don't have the deck that you have, are you going to decide, you know what, I'm going to bet half the money I got in my pocket? No, you're going to bet all the money you have because you know you're going to get that return on your investment when you lay it down. So when you're deciding to bet all you can into your passion or into your priority, and you know it's going to lead to infinite potential and you know it's going to lead to your happiness, why not bet all you can? Because if you don't, you're going to be missing out on the pot you could have received. You're going to be missing out on the money you already know is going to come. You got to believe in yourself. If you're doing this, you believe in yourself. So if you got this priority, I need you to bet it all because there's nothing better to receiving all that you deserve. So bet it all, invest in yourself. Stop buying them shoes like I was doing it and invest in yourself because it's going to pay off in the long run. So let's get into the next segment where if you can invest, if you decide not to do it, at the very least, surround yourself by like-minded people. One thing I want all of you to do, because I realize this is my new passion, but I think all of you would benefit from, and that's surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I believe that when you put two passionate people together, my goodness, think about it. I've been talking about infinite with passion. Two infinites together, what could that possibly add up to? But I want y'all to understand that, when you're taking on this mindset that I've been trying to explain to y'all, it can get lonely. It can get you can kind of feel like you're a crazy person amongst a society that doesn't always welcome this type of thinking. And so when you find somebody else that thinks the same way, or at least on a base level, it can be like a breath of fresh air. It can feel like, my goodness, somebody's speaking my language here. And so I would encourage all of you to go and just surround yourself with people who think like you. Because if you don't, my goodness, guys, I believe a relationship can either multiply you in terms of your happiness and success, or it can straight up divide it. So understand, if you surround yourself with people that aren't passionate, if you surround yourself with people that are negative people, surround yourself by people who think, okay, I'm in this content lifestyle, I'm cool where I'm at right now, then you're not going to be able to elevate. You're only going to be able to be pulled down by them. And maybe they are looking at you and they're saying, man, I like what he's got going on. The only thing they're going to be doing is pulling you down. They might be going up a little bit, but they're going to be pulling you down. So I need you to surround yourself by like-minded people, because not only is it going to bring you happiness, is it going to bring you more creativity with that person, but it's also going to bring on more opportunity for you. When you're with somebody you're passionate about, if I meet somebody right now, never met in my life, and I know they're another rooted individual and I know they're another passionate person, immediately I'm going to want to help them. Immediately I'm going to have this connection to them because I know we're this different breed of people that actually understand the true meaning of happiness and doing what you love. That type of thing is an instant connection. And when you meet somebody like that shares these same values, you're going to want to help them immediately. You're going to want to say, hey man, you need help doing this because I got this connection. I have this. It's something I realized. I used to go on conferences a lot. I think it was my freshman year, sophomore year. I used to go to conferences a lot. And you would meet these other people that had the same visions as you. If you have the same goal you're trying to get to, or depiction of what part of society you want to change, and y'all both have the same thing, y'all gonna just want to be together and help each other out as much as possible. So if you can decide to go out there and chase those people that are like-minded, then you will feel that happiness that comes with, being with somebody that's like-minded. You also find abundance of opportunities from that person wanting to help you, and there's going to be just all this creativity just bouncing off of each other. But I'll also say this, to end the episode, when it comes to passionate people, this is something I've realized over the last year. They will attract to you when you're passionate. When you're passionate about something, immediately people will just attract to you, because not even regular people, but I mean people that are also passionate, because they're, like I said, it's like a need. You need this breath of fresh air for people to understand what you're talking about. When you find those people to come around you, they'll find them to come around you. They will come around you because they are magnetically attracted to you. And that's just what it is. It's not that literally scientifically, but I think that's just how life works. When you're passionate about stuff, people will attract to you. I've realized that. I feel like every other day I meet another passionate person, because I'm the passion guy. So, I got a little bit more magnetic force with me, but I swear to you, those people will come. So keep being passionate and they will come, but also decide to not surround yourself with people that aren't passionate. I'm not saying to kick them to the curb, but your core group of friends, your people that you look to for everything, they got to be people that see eye to eye with you, because it can be so draining to not have people that believe in you and people that have the same ideals as you, because it will only bring you down. So surround yourself with people that are like-minded, and you will see all this happiness and all this positivity and all this creativity come into your life. And understand, you have to start now. So do one thing and decide to surround yourself by like-minded people, and then maybe you can take that step and decide to bet it all on yourself and do something you love and actually start now. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 9 of the Root of Everything podcast. Only one more left of the season. We really appreciate y'all. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and rate us on all podcast platforms. And you can also go to our website, rootofeverything.com, and go down a little bit and go to the button that says The Weekly Root to subscribe to our weekly newsletter.